Sex, one of the most natural and primal aspects of being human. It tells us a lot about society, how we communicate, and even how we view power. But when we look back at ancient Egypt, the way they viewed sex is truly unique. Today, we're diving into 10 bizarre sexual facts from one of the most fascinating civilizations in history. Buckle up, because things are about to get weird. 1. Masturbation and creation. Did you know the world was created through masturbation? Well, in one ancient Egyptian myth, it was. The god Adam, in a moment of divine solitude, masturbated, and from this act, the first gods were born. It's a wild twist on creation, showing how sex and creation were tightly connected in their worldview. 2. Pharaoh masturbation. Speaking of divine acts, pharaohs didn't shy away from making their mark. Some pharaohs would even ceremoniously masturbate into the Nile River, believing that their semen could fertilize the land, much like the river's life-giving floods. Talk about a ritual with a twist. 3. The food of the gods. The battle for power in Egypt wasn't just about politics, it got personal. Take the story of Horus and Seth. These two gods didn't just fight for control, they also fought over sexual dominance. In a myth that involves deception, power plays, and even semenating, Horus comes out on top. Not your typical royal rivalry. 4. Incest in royalty. In ancient Egypt, incest wasn't just taboo. It was a royal tradition. To keep the divine bloodline pure, pharaohs often married within their families. King Tut himself was born of a brother-sister union. It sounds shocking, but for the royals, this kept their divine status intact. 5. Necrophilia and the Embalmers. Egypt's obsession with life after death took a darker turn. Herodotus, the ancient historian, told stories of embalmers who were known to have sexual relations with the dead bodies they prepared. Creepy, right? This wasn't a one-off incident either. It was something the Egyptians were oddly comfortable with, considering their unique beliefs about death and rebirth. 6. Necrophilia gods. If you thought it couldn't get weirder, the gods themselves got in on the action. The god Osiris was brought back to life by his wife Isis after his death, and not in a conventional way. She had sex with his body to conceive their son, Horus. Talk about a divine intervention. 7. Circumcision rituals. In Egypt, circumcision wasn't just a religious practice, it was a common cultural custom. Men in ancient Egypt were circumcised as part of their rites of passage. Even Herodotus noted that the Egyptians held circumcision parties where dozens of men would undergo the procedure together. 8. Sacred prostitution. Prostitution wasn't hidden in ancient Egypt. It was respected, and even sacred. Prostitutes were considered to serve the gods, and they held a higher social status than you might think. They would often wear makeup and tattoos to signify their role. Strange, maybe, but in Egypt, it was just another part of life. 9. Gender fluidity. Gender roles in ancient Egypt weren't as rigid as in many other cultures. Egyptians believed in gods who could change genders, and this flexibility influenced human life. 2. Some even believed that in the afterlife, women would transform into men for a better chance at entering the afterlife. 10. Contraception practices. Believe it or not, ancient Egyptians were surprisingly advanced in birth control. They made early condoms from animal intestines and used a natural spermicide made from acacia gum. Some methods were extreme, like using crocodile dung as a barrier to block sperm. Still, it's clear, they took fertility into their own hands. Ancient Egypt didn't shy away from taboo. From sacred sex rituals to royal incest, their views on sexuality were wild and deeply tied to power and the divine. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next.